Okay, so what are we doing here, hon?
We're here in Illinois at my parents' house in Springfield, and we're doing a almost 1 year update on the garden that we helped her establish. So let's go take a look.
Bam.
This curved bed here in the front by the back door is the existing bed. This is the one that was here when we first got here. And most of these flowers are ones that my mom has planted this year. I got her this little grouping of flowers here, and she put in some milkweed, which she will find a new place for next year. It's a little bit tall, but this bed has done very well this summer. And also, probably the most striking things are the coxcomb, and that's what coxcomb is supposed to look like.
All right, so we are in the raised garden vegetable area. We created 7 raised beds here last fall. We created these. So all we did was laid cardboard over this whole surrounding area, all the way to the border there, and then we just had 2x6s that we got from a lumber store. Slapped them together, put them in, took a whole bunch of debris that we pulled out of these gardens into the bottom, so it was mostly like ornamental grasses, twigs, stuff. Laid that on top of the cardboard and then put compost on top. So yeah, these beds are less than a year old, and they've, I think, performed really, really well. So we did put up this rabbit proofing fence, and it definitely kept the rabbits out, but we may not need that going forward, we're thinking. So so yeah, I mean, tons of tomatoes, basil, even her brassicas did well. She was able to grow eggplants, which we can't really do. Well, ours are not nearly as big. So yeah, awesome.
Great.
Awesome. And we put down what, maybe 4 inches of wood chip, and it's held up really, really well. So yeah.
Jason spent an hour weeding, and that was
perimeter.
The perimeter of the wood chipped area, and that took about an hour, you thought?
Yeah, there was a lot of weeds that came through, but just it's where we didn't really double layer the cardboard or anything like that.
Should have put more cardboard on the edge.
Yeah, and the perennial grasses are something else down here compared to Victoria. Yep. So yeah, but cool. Yeah, it looks really, really good.
Yeah. We'll just take a second and look at the individual beds just so you can see them. So we'll do that really quick.
Cool.
So we're here on the edge of this bed, and you can see we've got carrots growing, and I don't know what she had here in the front.
Let's pull a carrot.
Oh, you want to pull a carrot? Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
I don't think that's how you pull them.
They're a little woody in the inside. They need to be pulled.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
In the second bed, it's mostly beets and kale. The kale is really just starting, and there's some fish peppers in there. They look very nice. About the same size as mine. We've eaten quite a few of the fish peppers this week. And there's one that might ripen. She's got her mint in a container. Along the edges, you can see there are bags. Most of them have potatoes. Some have sweet potatoes, and it looks like some of her potatoes may be re-sprouting. I'm not sure. They're very green. So more kale and herb. You can see the sweet potato vine back there. My mother has also found someone who has a bunch of pet rabbits, and she's getting a lot of bunny manure, and she's using that on the beds because it can go on directly. So you can kind of see here, this bed has been topped with bunny manure. Her favorite tomato this year has been this small orange one that you see taking over the rest of this bed. She was a little disappointed with some of the bigger tomatoes this year. They got blossom end rot, so a lot of them didn't work, but you can see there are more tomatoes over here. I think her goal next year is to manage the tomatoes and control them just a little bit more. They're quite wild. She's got a nice cucumber plant here, and then these are her eggplants. They are getting eaten up quite a bit, but they seem to be producing just fine, so she's left them alone.
Okay.
We're now in the back portion. We call this the back 40. It's our proudest, probably, area, and it has been stunning this year. So take a look. Jason built this pergola here, and it's done really well. My mom's working on trying to get something to grow up it to make it look even more beautiful. But if we come inside, then we can see some of the, I'll just highlight a few of the really interesting things that she's growing.
Beautiful.
This row of the garden shows my mom's big zinnias at the end. I think she grew peas here in the spring, and then she put in the different winter squash, such as the butternut.
Comfrey. Lovely.
My mom also planted some ginger here. I think she just had some from a grocery store, and she planted it, and it's working. So my mom was a little bit upset that we were making this video at the end of the season when everything was kind of wrapping up, but she still had some beautiful zinnias and other flowers, and I think it's a good idea to kind of look back and see what the garden looked like at the end of the first season. It's remarkable that most of these garden areas were simply grass before we had transformed them the year before, and then she planted out everything in the spring. So for a first year garden, I think it was really awesome.